everyone, and welcome to Thy Podcast. I'm your host, Joel, and with us today, Moses Moon.
Hello, everyone.
And also joining us, my older brother, Adam.
What?
Yo, what's up?
What's up,
Your
man?
audio quality, that's what's up.
Oh yeah, I got me some better headphones. Look at this
They
set.
still
Just
suck
look at me,
ass.
boys.
You need
Oh.
a Yeti.
Well,
Speaking it to a
well.
tin can.
Well, it's better than
Well.
what he had last time.
No, that's so true. They look much better. It's a great purchase.
Thank you.
Are you running
I-
Mac or Windows?
Windows. Wait, no,
All
I'm
right.
on my phone.
Oh, okay.
That does explain it.
Yep, that explains it.
Really? You think I should open it with my computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you could download Voice Mod, and then you could run your audio through a clean audio. But that we'll work on that in post.
I
Yeah.
work nothing on post.
I think I'm doing a good job over here. I mean, I give my
doing great, man.
inputs, and
You're doing
Yoel
great,
will do
man.
the hard work.
We
As
love you,
al-
man. You're doing
as
great.
As always. But anyways, shall we get into our episode for today?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome
What are we
response from you,
talking
Adam.
about?
So yeah, today we are going to talk about Hot D. Episode
give me
8.
that. Give me that.
Yeah. So today, Game of Thrones House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 8. The episode before the Insane episode, if they are using the Game of Thrones method, which is every episode 9, is the holy shit, what the fuck, oh my god episode. So yeah, we have a lot to expect for episode 9. But in the meantime, we
Oh
talk
my
about
Lord.
episode 8. What did you
Lord
guys
of the Tides.
before we actually get into the episode itself?
Mm.
I do want to mention 2 things. Number 1, George R. Martin did say, in order to completely tell us the story of the House of the Dragon, you must have at least 4 seasons of 10 episodes each. They did not confirm 4 seasons. They only confirmed season 2. But according to George R. Martin, the author, you must have 4 seasons at least. So that is
At least.
yeah, that is something we can look forward to. Number 2, and this is also very interesting. As an author, where you create your characters, as you imagine them the best way possible. Well, guess what? George R. R. Martin, once again, he went to the actor who played Viserys, the King, and he said to him personally, your interpretation of this character is way better than the books.
Damn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I haven't read the books, but I have been digging the King's performance from day one, and as he's been decaying, sure, that's a better word, into this decrepit form. There we go. Even better. He has been pulling off acting chops like I have never seen, like in these performances of series today, and his motives are super clear, but it is a driving energy in the show, and I love it. Long live the King. May he rest in peace.
Long live King Viserys. Yes.
Can we confirm that he's dead?
Yes, we can confirm that he is dead. As always, I always watch the trailer for the next episode, and they open that trailer with "The King is dead." So
He
yes,
died.
yeah. So the king
All
is
right,
100% dead.
and he's Viserys the second or the third?
I
First
do
of his
not
name.
remember.
Oh, first of his name. He's the Viserys the first.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
believe so.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I believe that's. I mean, I've heard his announcement a few times. I believe that is what I'm recalling correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
anyways, what did you guys think of the episode? Because I personally had a little problem with how they ended the episode, but we will get into that later.
Mm,
I thought it was a little slow. Once again, not a lot of hype. I There were a lot of things I got lost because again, we start the episode. There's a 6-year time jump, and I don't want to sound retarded, but the only one I recognized over
too
there.
late.
I
No, continue.
mean,
You set yourself
the
up for it, man. I'm sorry.
yeah, totally. The only one I recognize over there from the children, right? I'm not talking about the characters that we started with from day one. The only one I
Mm.
recognized was Aemon with the eye patch, and of course Rhaenyra's children, Luke and the other bastard. Oh shit! I said it. And but besides that, the the episode opens up, and you see some guy screaming at the grandmother. I forgot her name, and he's like, "Oh, this throne should be
He's the
mine."
brother
And I'm
of.
like, "Who the fuck is this guy again?" I don't. It's like she said. Basically, she looked at him, and what I said out loud was what she was thinking. Like, who the fuck are you again? Remind me. Why should you be king of the sea throne? I just don't
I'm the
remember him at
closest
all.
blood.
So
He's the brother
to-
of
yeah,
her husband.
Yeah.
Of her husband. So she's
Did
the
we
queen
see
who would
him?
have been. Yeah, we've been seeing. So the two black dudes
Dun dun dun.
are the Lord Vice let's hold on.
We don't
What's the
remember their
bloodline?
names.
No, we'll get there. Hold on. Viserys, the
Valerian.
blood of old Valerian.
Yeah.
We'll call them the Valerians. Anyways, so the house of the Targaryen divided by land, by sky and sea, and so we know. So at the very beginning from the season, we saw the two together. The queen that would have been queen, who had the claim to the throne but was denied, and her husband, Black Dude number 1, and his brother is the one who is showing up and complaining because we hear through word of mouth in this scene that her husband has taken ill. He basically got shot up full of arrows and fell into the sea, and they recovered him, but he's suffering from fever. And so people are like, well, he may die, which is most likely, so we need to secure the succession, but it's already been defined, but he wants to make a point of it. So they all go to King's Landing to make their petitions, and where we find Alicent and the Hand have been basically running things due to the king's declining state. And so we're expecting okay, how's this going to play out? Basically, is the setup for the episode.
Yeah.
All right.
It's an interesting setup, but what the king later on says, why are we having these petitions? Because the only one who should have a say over here is the wife. I don't remember her name as well, but she is the only one who should have a say. And Rhaenyra is very worried over here because having this petition is not only questioning the legitimacy. Yeah, the legitimacy of her kids, but it's also of her, if she could inherit the throne because of all of this. So this is why she's worried and wants to make sure everything is on her side. into her favor.
Mhm.
We do see before our group gets to King's Landing from Dragonstone, Damon goes and finds 3 eggs that Rhaenyra's dragon laid.
Good times.
Yeah, so
That
potentially
looked like a huge pile of shit from in my eyes. I was like,
Yeah.
is that guy getting some shit?
yeah,
Jurassic
it
Park
definitely
reference,
looked like
question mark?
shit. It definitely looked like shit. It was very hot shit at the same time. The
Hot
thing
shit.
is,
It
The
was
thing is-
hot S.
how do dragon eggs get hatched? Because according to what I got from this scene over here, the dragon lays 3 eggs in a pile of hot shit that it stays over there until the eggs hatches. That is what I understood.
I think you're missing the real questions over here, and that's how do they bang?
Well,
They could be asexual and fertilize themselves. Some lizards are known for that.
Well, that's just boring.
you know what that means, Moses. If those dragons had clones,
Oh boy. If you
No.
haven't watched our previous episode, you'll have no idea what we're talking about. Go watch
Yeah.
our Rick and Morty special so your mind can be fucked just as well. Oh my god. 2-hour tangent for nothing. Anyways, besides the
so yeah.
potentials of how the mating and life cycles of dragons, we understand, at least through what the show has provided us, that at least dragon eggs are first presented in this form, but then require either some sort of bond or something to hatch them, including heat and fire and da da da.
Yeah. We don't know exactly. They never really specify how dragons are hatched from their eggs, but we do see over here 3 eggs. Damon does confirm there are 3 eggs, and potentially this is a theory. What if these eggs will eventually become Daenerys dragons? We don't know, but just a theory. Anyways, let's go to King's Landing. So our group,
Next scene.
our group goes to Queen's Landing, and we see how the Rhaenyra's children, they go to the battle area, practice area, and we see over there Aemond, who is a total fucking badass. Like when I saw him, it's like, holy shit, you grew a lot. I don't think by 6 years, because you were like what, 13? You look closer to your 30s rather to your 20s. But
Getting fucked up in the
not-
face will do that to you.
Yeah, is it just me, or does he remind you a lot of McFly's father in Back to the Future?
yes.
Oh, clean reference. Very nice.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm looking at him and I'm like, holy shit. Like spot on. Looks exactly like him, but he's giving those creepy vibes.
McFly. Me and my friend,
love-
when we watched it together, we both like turned to each other, put one hand over our eye, and jaunted our jaw out to be like to kind of like catch that vibe. But yeah, no, he became quite the swordsman, and that was interesting. I thought they might do a rematch to kind of show that, like, yeah, they've all kind of grown up, and I thought that would have been interesting, but that was kind of immediately shut down. Also, may I interject that the only reason why this is happening is because the Hand and Alicent can undermine the power, the power and authority of the king at the moment, because he is bedridden and currently very well like clouded by the poppy milk of the poppy that is keeping him undermined basically.
Yeah, I expected Rhaenyra's children, after what we saw last episode, they would battle, they would try to practice and get better, but we see Aemond
Honestly thought they'd be better.
Exactly, we see Aemond got
Still
insanely amazing in sword fighting, and they look like a bunch of pussies. They look to me, honestly, when I saw them for the first time in their full clothing, I looked at them and like, you guys look like you from the Vale. Like in Game of Thrones, you have the kid who drank from his mother's breast, remember?
Oh, I hate.
So-
Oh, fuck.
so
Why
when
did
he
you?
got-
Why
when he
do you
got older-
remind me of these things?
But when he got older, he was wearing basically the exact same clothes. Now, yes, according to what we saw previous episodes, Damon actually is the Lord of the Vale as well, because he killed his wife that was riding on the horse. So,
Yep.
it is, I understand why they look like they're from the Vale, but they're not from the Vale. So for me, it's
Mm.
like, you looked like
Pick a
pussies.
lane.
Yeah. I don't know. I expected them, to get better with sword fighting, and it doesn't look like they did. Damon Amond, yeah, and amazingly ripped. And then we have
Can I just
Aegon. Yeah.
say, I am so irritated every time Allison goes and like interrupts Aegon from either masturbating in the window or catching him naked in the thing. Like, for fuck's sake, stop catching him naked, eh? Like, that's just like a foul, bro.
Well, they don't have
did this
locks.
huge tangent on her trying to consolidate a girl who was either raped or like what was going on over there? Like she was crying, "I'm sorry, my queen. I'm sorry." Aegon
She was raped.
wanted it. She was raped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
He-
implied.
But
if I
but,
remember right, what she said she went into his room, she brought like tea or food or whatever, she put it down on the table, and she turned around to leave, and the next scene she knows, Aegon is not laying on his bed, he is behind her gripping her, and that's why
So,
she was
and-
crying.
and she gave her, what was it? Either what, poison? What did she
Mm.
do? Like, did she kill the girl?
No. She gave her the same thing that Rhaenyra may or may not have drank when she was fooling around. This was to make
When
sure
she
that
l-
she wasn't pregnant.
Yeah, when Rhaenyra
Ah.
lost her virginity, she later on got a specific tea, Plan B, as if to say. So they gave her the same tea plus money for compensation.
All right.
Have fun. Goodbye.
Yeah, but with Aegon, I have to say, I expect a lot from him due to the spoilers we have from the TV show Game of Thrones, that we know basically how this entire series is going to end. And I did mention it several times, is Aegon is going to fight his sister Rhaenyra to who is the rightful heir to the throne. At the end, Aegon wins, and he kills Rhaenyra by feeding her to his dragon.
Does he win though? Does he
Acco-
win?
According to what Joffrey says in the spoilers,
No,
yes.
no. Joffrey didn't say he won. Joffrey said that he fed her to his dragon. But
Yeah,
the
which
line
he-
of succession goes through Rhaenyra's offspring.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Aegon won, obviously he's not
It
going to
doesn't
give
matter. No
he-
one told you he won. He just did. Listen, if I told you that the Mad King killed Jon Snow's grandfather, right, burned him alive in King's Landing, right,
Mhm, yes.
then you would say, oh, well, then he won. But we all know what happened to the Mad King. There was a whole huge revolution, and because of it, you had the Baratheons who went in power and overthrew the Targaryens. Correct?
Not because of that, because they kidnapped.
בסדר, but fine. But overall,
Tomatoes.
exactly. Overall, it was one of the catalysts that drove the Baratheons into power. Correct?
Yes.
What
Mm.
banded all the other families to the Baratheons?
Yes.
Just
Because
for our
we
audience
know.
at home to know, Adam is currently shirtless, and we don't know if he's got anything else on. So just picture that in your minds, everybody. Myself and Joel are completely clothed and very decent. So
I'm
imagine
not
a
wearing
naked,
pants, by the way.
ranting, angry man. I'm wearing pants.
If you
rather.
hear in the
So-
background, that's some of them enjoying me.
He's
shirtless.
currently swinging back and forth, making the helicopter going on. Anyways, continue your point. Yes, catalysts.
And anyway, what I'm trying to say is we know that it will be Aegon.
Are you blushing? I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Continue.
I need to turn off my
I'm gonna mute
camera. I need to
myself.
turn off my camera. Oh my God. I missed you, Mose. I missed you.
Oh, I miss you too, bud.
All right.
You know you're good friends
So
when you can take the piss out of each other.
anyway.
After this, I have to take off my shirt and show you my new tattoo. So
Oh yeah, sick.
yeah. Anyways,
We know
continuing the
that-
catalyst.
Right. So we know because of Joffrey in Game of Thrones that Aegon is the one who fed Rhaenyra to his dragon. But we don't know, maybe because of it, that was one of the consequences that started the Dance of Dragons to eventually, and this is a known fact, cause the whole family to go into ruins, thousands killed, the whole Targaryen family devastated, but eventually the line of succession still goes through Rhaenyra's offspring. This is a fact.
Okay, so this is what I remember according to what they said in Game of Thrones and the clips. Okay, so you have Stannis
Yes.
Baratheon and his daughter Suri. She's reading the Dance of Dragons book, and he asks her, "What are you reading?" She tells him, and he asks her, "Tell me about the story." And she says that here the Targaryens, the brother Aegon and his sister, his half sister Rhaenyra, were fighting to who is the has the rightful claim to the throne. And at the end, thousands of Targaryens died, and it was a very big tragic to the Targaryens that they did not recover up till now. So that is from that point of view. Then you have the point of view of Joffrey when he tells Marjorie, here's a little history. Aegon Targaryen killed his sister by feeding her to his dragon. Okay.
Right.
Well, that could be. Could that be his wife as well? His wife is his sister.
No, he said Rhaenyra. He says
Sorry.
sister. Yeah, his sister Rhaenyra. Now, when
Speaking
it
of
comes
which,
to
did we get any prophecy moments from our favorite strange?
not that I can come up with, but what I'm trying to say over here, yeah, the line of succession should go to Rhaenyra's kids, but the thing is, they are bastards. Everyone know they're bastards. They're not gonna let bastards become the king and sit on the throne. If they
You better be careful. You might get your head clean cut off. Well, slightly dilapidated. God damn, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing. But the thing is, I think Aegon won and he will sit on the throne. What was interesting to me is the first time in 100 years, and Rhaenyra and Daemon do mention it, we have the stars all decorated rather than the dragons. Alicent did change the look of the key of the throne room.
Right.
Which is like, okay, this does show us that the king is no longer in power, but you are the one in power.
Yeah.
Well, we then basically jump to Rhaenyra and Daemon go to the king's room, to his chambers, and they talk with him, and we see how deteriorated he is, and he's basically a walking skeleton. And he his mind is not with him.
Before that, I really liked what they did with his room. If you look, they show you how there are cobwebs on the model, his statue, but on a specific place. They put the cobwebs in the dragon pit. And it was really nice because dragon pits were something extremely famous for the old in old Valyria, and also I think very famous in what's the other continent called? I just forgot where the Faceless Men are.
Essos.
Essos, I think. So, but I think it was Viserys' father who I think banned them. He wanted to break tradition, and so you see cobwebs on the dragon pits. So I thought that was a nice touch.
It was a great touch.
Yeah, it definitely was a great touch.
If you touch my pee-pee, it would be a great touch.
And yes,
well, we can get to that later in the episode.
Yeah, that was called Essos, and the mainland is Westeros. yeah, we see the conversation with the queen, and she does eventually ask him, like, do you honestly believe it about the Dance of the Dragon, the Song of Ice and Fire?
Song
No,
of
not
Fire. Yeah.
yeah, the Song of Ice and Fire. Do you really believe it? And we also kind of see that she kind of regrets that he named her his heir, and she will do it because that's her duty, but at the same time she is not happy with it. It was interesting, but the thing is, because the king is not 100% with us, so time wise in his head he doesn't know what's going on, what how long has time passed.
Mm.
But yeah, then we later, I'm gonna skip a lot over here. We later gonna go to when they basically all claim the big conversation in the throne room. Who should
Yeah, making their petitions.
the petition? So we have the brother who he makes his petition. I'm Valyrian. I'm the closest one to Valyrian blood, and in my point of view, why not Daemon's daughter? Why shouldn't be like she's Daemon, Valyrian blood? We know that for a fact. Well, because she's a woman. I don't know,
Freaking
but
tradition.
yeah, tradition.
Those glass ceilings were really thick back then.
Yeah, but he makes his petition, and then Rhaenyra makes her petition. While she is making her petition, the king all of a sudden comes, and why does he come only now? Because Otto was the one who was taking care of all of this. The king comes, he starts walking up the stairs, and we see that he's not really making it, and a god comes and tries to help him. He tells him, I'm fine, I can do this on my own. And here is something that was 100% improvised, happened by accident. So the king continues walking up the stairs, and here's what happened by accident. The crown fell off his head to the floor. And the actor who improvised, Matt Smith, or
Matt Smith, yeah.
Daemon, the king's brother. He improvised this, and he walked and picked up the crown and put it on his brother's head. And
it was a beautiful moment.
It was an amazing moment, because throughout this entire season, we see the dynamic between each other, and they're like, yes, we're brothers, but we also have feud with each other, but we are brothers, but we have feud. And Ovil, he comes and says, my brother, the king, is in distress. He can't really, manage. I will put my bullshit aside, and I will come and help my brother. And I
really like that touch where over the course, like, we see this struggle, but at the same time, in this particular episode, we see Daemon meet his brother and the face of mortality that is the plague of humanity. And just that subtle touch, I didn't know that was the mistake of that, but that power dynamic where he clearly honors his brother was really beautiful. I was touched deeply at that scene.
Yeah, so was I. I was very, very touched by that. And also the face that the king gave Daemon, because when the god came, it's like, I can do this, leave me alone. But when Daemon said, he looked at him, you are my brother, I love you, I trust you, come on and help me. And it was amazing. And because that scene was improvised, later on in the episode, when everyone gives a toast, apparently Daemon was supposed to give a toast, also a hot, warm, felt toast. But because of that, they decided, you know what? This was good enough. We don't need Daemon to do a toast. Great. And I highly agree with that. I very, very much love that.
Besides the ending of so we jump ahead after that. The king makes it very clear his motivation, and that he stands and fights for Rhaenyra. And he's like, look, we're going to have a dinner. You guys are going to fucking behave. So that we jump to dinner, and everybody's witnessing the presence of this frail man and his mortality, and his last wishes. Basically, they can hear it and see it. He removes his eye patch, and he's just a wither old hollowed man, like you said, basically a walking skeleton. And my question to you guys is, do you think the toast between Rhaenyra and Alicent, both sides, were genuine? And do you think that will have a lasting effect in the future, or is this going to be chaos now that the king is dead?
Adam, do you want to go first?
they're all gonna be at each other's throats. I mean, who are we kidding? It's the Game of Thrones here. The Game of Thrones, not the Game of Friends.
The power of friendship.
So I personally do think that toast was genuine, but the change is the ending of the episode where I had my problem, which again I'll get into it later when we get to that specific area. But what we did get in this entire dinner is something new for Game of Thrones, because when I saw it, like, oh my god, this is very warm, heartwarming moment where we see from the king's point of view, all of his family are together, whether they enjoy each other's company or not, they are getting along. Something he's been wanting for years. I personally felt like, wow, this is nice, it's fun, that. And we see also like they kind of harassing each other in a comedic way,
Keep
but also not comedic.
my wife's name out of your goddamn mouth.
The
I
thing
like
is,
that the girls were excited to be married to the to the bastards. I thought
Yeah.
that was really
Oh,
sweet. I was like,
shit.
oh,
oh shit, you're now the third person in this episode to say bastard.
someone's. I know. By the end of this episode, we're gonna have a Russian roulette, and we'll see how that goes.
We kept joking about the bastard, but we never mentioned, like we kind of mentioned, but not really, how Damon killed.
Oh my god!
Oh
Let's
my
just
God.
reflect on that.
Oh my god, fucking
Chef's kiss.
amazing!
That was beautiful.
And I loved how he said he
Say
can keep
it.
his tongue.
No, it's gonna be a new meme. Every time you want someone to say something, you're just gonna see his face. Say it.
Yes.
Say it. I know you want to say
when you
it.
know it's going to be your own downfall. We all knew that, like, if he said it, that was going to be the end. Did you think it was going to be prolonged, or did you think justice would happen right there on the spot? Like, I thought the king would come down and stab him, but then when the swift, I was like,
Oh, when the king got up of his throne and took out the knife, like, yeah, the king is gonna die if he tries to do anything. He's gonna fall
see, yeah,
off
that's the thing. I
stairs and
thought the
die.
king was going to die then and there, right?
Yeah.
But nope.
No, but yeah, what they did was way, way better. But anyways, let's jump back to the dinner. Everyone make the toast and, the peace with one another. Damon keeps harassing, if you don't know where to put your dick, I can teach you, I can show you, whatever. Then they go on dancing and all that. And then the king leaves. And as he leaves, they bring the pig. And they put the pig in front of Aemond. Now, at first,
it's not the pig, but it is a pig.
It is a pig. It's not the pig. The first time I saw the episode, I saw the kid laughing at Aemond. It's like, why are you laughing? What's so funny? The second time I saw it, like, oh wait, yeah, you're laughing because when you were kids, you gave him a pig with wings, claiming it's a dragon. So you're reflecting a moment where you were teasing him when he was weak.
Right.
And now.
So here's the thing. I thought they would show that Dagon? Is that his name? No, it's Aemond.
Aemond
would be a little more mature. But you can see that it still got under his skin where he was like, fine, I'll do a toast. And when he toasts, the benevolence of his, like, my strong, nephews, you're like, and still, he knows what buttons to press. And I was like, okay, interesting.
I didn't get that. Why is the word strong such a?
Because he was being sarcastic.
No, okay, so because we do know Rhaenyra did obviously cheat on her husband with her god, right? The surname of her god is Strong.
That too.
Oh.
Yeah. I missed that part. I thought he was just joking them because he physically, besides getting knifed in the face, like, was able to take them on. But that's much better. Thank you.
Yeah. So
yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. So he's not saying you're a bastard. He's not saying those words, but he's saying you're a bastard. All of you are bastards by just saying your real surname and not your surname Targaryen.
Oh, that's like the most shittiest surname to have if you are a bastard. Like, they just shove it in your face and no one can say something wrong. It's like, hey dude, you're really strong. No, I'm not. I'm a weak fucking pussy. I was trying to compliment you. Shut the fuck up, a pussy. I'm a weak bastard. Oh shit, I said it myself.
Yeah, it was very, manipulative from Aemond how he did that.
It was really good.
Um,
That just shows you this character has wit. He's not just angry or even just a faced a mad angry kid. This kid, not only is he powerful in combat that we saw, but he also has wit. In a very short period of time, we're talking about minutes here. I actually started liking this kid. He's weird. He's smart. He's strong, and he's
He-
actually kind of intimidating.
Sorry, Adam, he's not strong. He's Targaryen.
Ah, yes, of course, of course.
It was we saw the transition after Allison cut Rhaenyra, where he's like, Mom, like fucking chill, it's okay, I got a dragon, like I'm fine, like I've satisfied my ego, I can move on, like I got the better deal of the thing, like we're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking about dragons, Adam, sorry, but this episode we saw no dragons. We did see dragon poop and dragon eggs, but yeah, there was no. I know you.
Yes, that is true. One of the reasons why I didn't like this episode, and it is my least favorite out of them all.
Really?
Really?
Well, come on, guys. What really happened this episode? Come on.
A lot of tension is built, and we're
Yeah,
all
it's
the
built-
also
built
the
up
passing
tension.
of the king.
Yeah.
And
No
like
problem.
also a lot of
But for that to be that tension to be one episode before the last one, or is it 2 episodes before the last one? I don't know. You know what? If episode 9 turns out to be a fucking A-bomb because of this tension, then yes, it was a good build-up. And therefore, no problem. I have no problem with that.
A nice
I
payoff.
don't like. Yeah, exactly. This episode will be good if the episode after it will be a fucking banger. If not, then this episode will just still to be my least favorite.
I can agree. I wouldn't say my least, but I would say that the writers have been doing a really great job building each episode on top of each other. I haven't had any particular like, oh, this doesn't feel followed through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have high hopes. Like my expectations when I first started were very low, but as I've been seeing the quality and the level of writing, I've been raising my expectations accordingly because I feel like it's earned that. The moment I'm betrayed on that's a different story. But in the meantime, like I'm having a blast riding this ride.
Yeah. So am I.
Nice.
This is an amazing show. I'm enjoying every moment of it. Whether we see a dragon or not, as long as it's a good storytelling, I'm enjoying it.
But we're not done yet.
No, we're not done yet. The only problem I did have with the episode, like I said multiple times, is actually.
And now we're here.
Yeah, now we're here. It's actually how the episode actually ended. So we end the dinner with everyone fighting because Aemond made that comment of strong. What was funny, then what's his name? Daemon kind of stops everything, and Daemon and Aemond look at each other, and then Daemon is like, "Well, if I say bastard, he'll chop my head off." So he walks away. But then we get to actually what really bothered me is the Keen and Alicent. So the Keen, we see he's dying. Again, we see his face and, it's all, fucked up. And Alicent comes into the room. And like I said earlier, because the Keen is not really with us, he doesn't really follow the time of the day. So
he's also taken the drink of the
milk
coffee,
of the
so
puppy.
he's been clouded again. Milk, yeah.
Exactly. So he thinks he's talking to Rhaenyra, even though Alicent said, Alicent here. And then he continues on the conversation he had with Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra asked him, do you really believe the Song of Ice and Fire? Are you sure about that and all that? So he's continuing that conversation. And he doesn't say the entire story, but Alicent hears
He doesn't at all.
Alicent hears like, Aegon, do it, your dream, Ice and Fire, be the Keen and all that. She vaguely hears the story, like only a few words here and a few words there. And obviously, this is the motive for the next episode. And why did I have a problem with this? Is because it's a typical, ending for like, everything ended for good, but now we need some, bad stuff to happen. So let's do a typical, the dead guy accidentally spilled a secret that he was not supposed to, and the wrong person heard it, but they didn't hear the entire secret. So it's a cliche ending for the king and for that secret to be spilled to give the motive for the rest of the show. You
want to hear something cool?
What?
It actually makes perfect sense. It's not just a fuck you, I'm going to make conflict where there is no conflict. Check this out, all right? The guy is hallucinating. The guy has no idea from left and right. He's talking about the promise, the prince that is promised, and he keeps on saying, "It's Aegon, it's him, it's you." And Alicent hears it, and of course she thinks, well, he's talking about Aegon, our son, right? Well, even though he's a drunkard and he's a rapist, well, I guess he clearly wants him to be the next in line. But we know as the viewers that he's talking about Aegon Targaryen, aka Jon Snow.
He doesn't know.
The prophesied one.
He's saying Aegon, as if he's like transcending into the future, seeing who it is. It's you. And he's not here. He's talking about Aegon. It's you. You're the one. And Alicent, I mean, it makes perfect sense. The writing is so awesome. The second he said Aegon and it's you, I'm like, yes, fucking yes, we're getting a Jon Snow reference. I don't know. That's how I saw it.
I didn't see it that way.
But I saw him more as if he was visualizing his daughter speaking to her. The only problem I had with this scene was that he's saying ice and fire. She clearly heard that. So it means that she would have understood that there's a context to it. But obviously she's not in the loop. So the real motives, because I recognize that she hooked up on what you were saying, Joel. But my problem was that it doesn't necessarily, this is where I had a tweak of the writing issue, because I could see it not shoehorned in, but it was realistically, if someone tells you something and then gives you a context, you understand that it's not related, but you also know that it's something you don't know about. And it's that part is going to drive you insane, not the assumed context that you think it means. It's the, okay, well, what is the Song of Ice and Fire? What is that? And the real question is, how is she didn't understand it, so clearly she has no context for it. So it's like, okay, that's safe, but the real question is she going to get it? Probably not. But that what will bug me is that it's clearly the Song of Ice and Fire that he's talking about, and she's going to ignore that, which, I mean, by all means is very human to do, but at the same time, like, she's a very smart individual, and so I would assume that there would be a point of her being like, okay, what is the Song of Ice and Fire, and how does this relate to the context I think he's talking about, and not realizing that this is the thing that is passed between succession lines to understand the future and da-da-da.
No,
she's also connected to the dream that he was talking about, so that's another aspect. Remember the scene where they're standing in front of the fire years ago at the named day celebration, he talks about the idea of prophecy and the dream that he had and so I think there may be some assumptions on her behalf of be like, oh, this is the dream that he's talking about from him, but when he drops ice and fire, he never called his dream by any name. So like, and back in those days, the context of a person's word were very important. So I mean, for me, that's where I'm like, but we'll see in the next episode.
Yeah, so that was my only problem. Like, it's a typical cliche ending for, the motive for the future. I did notice also something very similar to Viserys the King and Robert Baratheon the King. Both of their death gave off, like after they died, all the chaos began. So we still don't know what's going to happen after Viserys dies, because we haven't seen it yet. But we did see what happened after Robert Baratheon died and all the chaos that happened. So like I said, I did see the episode, the trailer for next episode over there. They do say the king is dead. Alicent
He is
also
dead
says,
indeed.
Alicent also says to someone, I'm not sure who, that the king told her he wanted Aegon to be the king. So now it's like, oh, great. This is your motive
Mhm.
because you overheard something that you were not supposed to hear, but also you didn't get the full contents of it. So it's a cliche ending, how the king died, which I'm not very happy with it. But what can you do? You know, whatever. I do hope it, they will justify it next episode. If not, so the entire series is built on a typical cliche ending of someone who dies.
Good times.
Yeah. But
I think it's still good because I totally
You're
took it in a
wrong.
different direction.
yeah.
It's good,
But
Rod said.
I do believe we got to the end of our episode for today. I'm your host Joel, and with us today, Moses Moon,
That's right.
and as well joining us, my older brother Adam.
Heyo. Okay. Okay. You're just you're just jealous of my stash. That's what it is.
I had a stash, but I grew it back in with my face.
Anyways, we talked about Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 8. We are spoilers, obviously, and I'll put all the links in the bio. Catch you guys up on the next episode. Bye.
Yo, bye.
Bye.